Hey, welcome to Rygaard Creations. In this video, I will show you a secret. It's a real treasure and it will completely change everything inside 3DCoat. For the better. I will show you how to do an advanced unification of all the menus of the top of the interface and the custom right-click menu from an external file in 3DCoat, okay? Yeah, that's right. We'll be able to have full control and dynamic updating between the menus at the top of the interface and the menus inside the advanced custom right-click menu in the custom room Rygaard Creations. This means that, for example, if we modify the codes of the menu at the top of the interface, the menu that exists inside the right mouse button will also be modified, and vice versa, okay? The magic of this process will happen from an external file. For this process, it is fundamental importance that you have seen the video Advanced Customization using 3DCoat right-click script, in which I explain about the external file. So, in order for you to understand the whole process that I will do here, watch the video I just talked about first, and then come back here, okay? Great. We will need to open the 3DCoat 2021 installation folder. Here, in Windows Explorer, in the 3DCoat 2021 folder, I will go into the User Preferences folder, and then into the Rooms folder. Inside the Rooms folder, I will need to create a file with an .8 extension, similar to the vox3rmb.8 file that's right here. But in Windows or any other operating system, the installation folders are protected and any changes require administrator privileges. In Windows 10, one of the easiest ways to create this .8 file without problems is to select the vox3rmb.8 file, press Ctrl+C on the keyboard to copy it, and then right here inside this folder, press Ctrl+V on the keyboard to paste it. As you can see, this Windows window appeared. It just tells me that I need to give administrator permissions to the file. So, I click on the Continue button. And Windows has created a copy of the file vox3rmb.8 inside this folder. Now, I will rename this file to Rygaard. And once again, I need to give admin permissions to rename the file by clicking the Continue button. Great. I will open and edit this Rygaard.8 file using Notepad++. In Notepad++, inside this file Rygaard.8, I will select all the codes by pressing Ctrl+A on the keyboard. And I'm going to press the delete key on the keyboard to delete everything. I'm going to demonstrate something very important to you. I'm going to save the file and in my case here in Notepad++, I got this window saying that the file cannot be saved because it's a protected file. the same problem can happen to you, okay? So, to add this protected file, it's necessary that the program we are using is in administrator mode. In this window, I would just have to click on the Yes button so that Notepad++ automatically closes and opens it to go into administrator mode. Well, I had to press the Yes button again on the Windows prompt to get Notepad++ to open in administrator mode, as you see here. From now on, with Notepad++ in administrator mode, I can save this file without any problems, okay? I would like to warn you about something very, very important. Please pay attention. Every time we make any changes and save the .8 extension file, always we must immediately close 3DCoat and then open it again, so that the changes can be made successfully. Because if 3DCoat remains open, the program will not update in real time the modifications made through this external file that is in the installation folder of the program, okay? Once again, so that you never forget, if you modify and save the external file with extension .8, so I immediately close 3DCoat and open it again so that the program can update the process, okay? Great. I will go back to 3DCoat and I will open the menu.cpp script through this edit script for the menu button. Here, into menu.cpp, I will need to select all the functions that exist inside the script with the exception of the main function. Selected the functions, I will press Ctrl+C on the keyboard to copy them. And I will return to the Rygaard.h file. Inside this file, I'm going to press Ctrl+V on the keyboard to paste the functions. The first thing I will do in here is to rename all the functions that exist in this file. So, I'm going to add to the end of each function name the word global. Great. I'm going to pause the video, and for all the functions, I'm going to do exactly that. Add the word global after the function name, okay? As you can see, I renamed all the functions by adding the word global at the end of the function name. For the reason that I renamed the functions, then I'll need to go inside the textures menu global function, because there are two functions which are import menu and export menu, that if they continue with that name, these functions will do absolutely nothing and they will not execute commands from the functions, since they no longer exist from the moment that I renamed the two functions above to import menu global and export menu global, okay? In order for these two functions to be recognized by the script and work again, I will have to rename them with the same name as the functions above. So, I should rename them, adding global to both functions. Great. The purpose of this Rygaard.8 is to store and make universal all these functions that will be used flexibly and dynamically by different scripts when customizing 3DCoat rooms. Sounds good, right? Inside each global function, or most of them, there is a function called start menu and the name of the menu, okay? So my next step is to select all the start menu functions and delete each one of them in the script, pressing delete. So I'm going to do this process of selecting this first function start menu and delete them, okay? The import menu global and export menu global functions don't have the start menu function like the others. So I go one by one, deleting all these functions. The user full script submenu global function does not have the start menu function either, okay? Now, I'll check function by function to see if I really deleted all the start menu functions. Great. Now that I have deleted all the functions that are not needed in here, I'll save the Rygaard.8 file. And remember that I was only able to save it because I am in administrator mode here in the Notepad++ program, okay? Now that I have finished saving Rygaard.8, I'll get back to the menu.cpp script that was open here all the time. Inside the script menu.cpp, on the first line of the script, right here, I will add the command # include Rygaard.8. This means that the menu.cpp script will be able to access and use any function that exists inside the external file Rygaard.8, okay? Great. I'll save the script, close it, go back to 3DCoat and press the OK button. Do you remember the warning I said? Yeah, the time has come that I will need to close 3DCoat and then open it again to update the program. And this way, to have the changes made in the external file Rygaard.8 recognized by 3DCoat. So I will stop the recording in order to close 3DCoat. And I will continue after I open it again, okay? That's it. I will go back to where I was. And I will return to the menu.cpp script through the edit script for the menu button. As you can see, I kept the original names of all the functions because I think I will keep this way the compatibility of the commands in the current 3DCoat's edit room window. Just like this one, okay? The next step I do is very easy. Inside the create file menu function, after the function start menu, I will select all the codes until the last function. Before the closing curly bracket of the command block of the create file menu function. And press the delete key on the keyboard to delete everything. Didn't I say it was easy? Now, under the function start main menu, I will just add the create file menu global function. What I just did here was very simple. The first step, through the include command, I told 3DCoat that there is an external file that the script can access and use the functions that create the menus. Second, I kept the function start main menu, which continues the process of creating and naming the menu at the top of the interface. Third, I have deleted all the code from within the function because from the function create file menu global, which is in the external file Rygaard.8, I'm running the same codes that were deleted, okay? Now, I'll do exactly the same steps as I did here in the create file menu function for all the other functions in the menu.cpp script, okay? So, let's go. Now, in this case of the import menu function, menu, I just need to delete all the code that is inside it and add the function name import menu global. Same thing inside the export menu function. Well, what I'm doing here is selecting, click here after the opening curly bracket to be able to identify the end of the closing curly bracket in the command block. So I click on the last command and I go again up there so I can select everything. The code I don't need, I delete them. This is a tip I'm giving you. And to be able to copy this name quickly, I select the entire name of the function. I press Ctrl on the keyboard, still holding Ctrl, click and drag down. This way I can copy the name I selected, okay? Great. I just identified here that function here. It exists inside the void scripts menu function, and I did rename it here in the external file Rygaard.8. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have identified this function here. I'm going to go back into the external file Rygaard.8 and I will find the scripts menu function. It's right here. So I just added the word global here. Great. I will save the external file Rygaard.8 and then I will restart 3DCoat. But now I will continue here with the scripting process. That's it. I will now just check all the functions if I did everything correctly, function by function. Remember, I just deleted all the codes and replaced them with the global function from the external Rygaard.8 file, okay? Yeah, it's all correct here inside the script. So the time has come to prove to you all that all the things I have done here within the script are corrected. I'm going to save this script, close it, go back to 3DCoat and click the OK button. First of all, I will need to pause the recording here because I'm going to close 3DCoat and open it. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have restarted 3DCoat, I'm going to open again the file I was using before. And as you can see, I have successfully all menus at the top of the interface created from an external file in the custom room Rygaard creations, right? Right. Apparently, everything works exactly as before. But there is a huge difference, my friends. Something much more powerful happened internally in the functioning of the program that you see. The first step has been successfully completed. I hope you have learned something new, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. See you there.